The more graphics a game has, the better, and everyone, regardless of who or what you ask them, agrees. That's why I'm still trying to run Metro Exodus on max settings, even though the battered PCs I buy from car boot sales keep blowing up. I'm Griff, and as I sit here in the smouldering ruins of 100 broken computers, let's begin our rundown of the best video game graphics and most realistic graphics that only the highest of the high-end PCs can handle. Before we begin though, if you don't want to miss another video from us, hit that subscribe button. Alright, cheers, yep, thanks, cool, yeah, talk to you in a bit. Alright, see ya, bye, bye. We'll kick off with Metro Exodus, the game so advanced it will tax PCs that haven't even been invented yet. Now that is some serious commitment to keeping ahead of the curve. If you've got a top tier rig that isn't imaginary, however, you will still experience the most realistic rendition of radioactive Russia since that HBO Chernobyl miniseries where everyone's skin melted off. Complete with hairworks to keep those luscious locks flowing, unless you're bald, advanced physics so objects move about realistically, and ray tracing. Nvidia even power video on ray tracing to demonstrate just how dramatic the booster lighting is. Feel free to show it to your significant other when they ask why you mortgaged the house to pay for a Titan RTX. Now keep in mind you will drop about 20% of the frame rate with ray tracing on, we did tests, but that's where another modern Metro feature comes in, DLSS, or Deep Learning Super Sampling. It's an Nvidia technology that boosts frame rates in higher resolutions, and Metro Exodus is one of the few games to benefit from it. This is a game that's designed to push top tier hardware, and no drop of GPU power is left untapped in its pursuit of post-apocalyptic dread. Up next is the oldest game on this list in GTA 5. It came out on the last generation of consoles in 2013, so the fact that it looks like this 7 years later is absolutely mind-blowing. If I'm alive in 7 years, I'll be happy. Now, admittedly, the reason it looks like this is because of mods. One of the most famous mods is called Natural Vision Remastered, as shown off here by Raze. It's a complete visual overhaul purposely designed to more closely mimic the lighting conditions and atmosphere of Southern California. Another mod you really need to see is GTA Redux by the GTA Redux team. It completely redoes the weather, replaces all road textures, adds real-life brands to billboards and bus stops, and even improves the damage and handling for cars. Modders are doing some exciting things with GTA 5, showing us what GTA 6 could possibly look like if it was set in the same place as GTA 5 and contained all the same stuff. Number 3, we are celebrating the seriously stylish Hitman 2, a game with more class than an infinite school. Each location offers something different but equally murderous, whether that's a beachfront resort in New Zealand, a maple tree flanked suburban street in Vermont, or a very flammable drug operation in Colombia. Love that poncho. Hitman 2 is a game that's equally comfortable handling heavy crowds at heaving events as rendering quiet interiors in immaculate detail. If it looks like you can kill someone with it, you probably can. And even if it doesn't look like you can kill someone with it, you probably can. I haven't injured this many people with fish since I made that big plate of sushi. For our fourth entry, it's Forza Horizon 4, which is why I put it as the fourth entry. You know, might as well, we're not doing this in order. Anyway, this open world racer turns Britain into a magical place, which is impressive because, I mean, have you seen it? Have you seen Britain? With distinct looks for all 4 seasons, you'll drive through summer fields, kick up piles of autumn leaves, coat your wheels with snowy white powder, and trespass on someone's property in spring. But as ever with Forza games, we can't overlook the cars themselves, which have more bells and whistles than an army of Morris dancers. I love zooming right into a headlamp or a logo. This is what photo mode was made for. Sure, the developers probably had to work overtime to make sure they got all the textures on those seatbelts right, but it's all worth it when you see those seatbelts. Go home, guys. Go home. Number 5 is The Division 2, and it's got the most graphics options I've ever seen in a PC game. Now, you might say that doesn't automatically make it one of the best looking games of all time, and to that I say, well, alright, you raise a good point, but observe Ubisoft's video on the subject. In its own words, we have realistic particle details, multi-core utilization, real-time reflection and destruction, asynchronous compute. You know, look, I haven't even heard of half these terms, but they must be good because they're hard to say. It's actually annoying how amazing The Division 2 looks. Like, the accuracy and how well Ubisoft captured Washington is one thing, but the sheer amount of detail in interiors is genuinely confusing. Like, how did you even put all this in here? And folks, when I get confused, I get enraged. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next entry before I break another computer. Oh, I've calmed down now, and that's all thanks to our 6th entry, Battlefield 5, the ruggedly good-looking World War II shooter from DICE. It's another Nvidia showcase, making use of all the company's most cutting-edge techniques. We're talking flamethrower tanks illuminating streets, light reflecting accurately in shop windows, car panels, and even glossy wooden guns, and explosions appearing in characters' eyes, should you ever be in a position to zoom in and check, which you won't be. Actually, all of this is thanks to one technique, and that is, again, real-time ray tracing. Switch it off and you can see the drop-off is massive. I don't think there's a single environment in this game that looks bad. Ballrooms are nice and shiny, there's loads of different water types, whether that's muddy puddles or stagnant ponds, and the northern lights, well, I'm gonna say it, these are better northern lights than the real northern lights. And I'm qualified to say that because I have seen the real northern lights on Google. Number 7, Control, a game that's like taking hallucinogens at the DMV. I stole that joke from our hardware editor Jacob, but here's what I didn't steal: the game's Northlight engine, which is so powerful that if I did steal it, I would be locked up in gamer jail for 1,000 years. Its big thing is trying to make games all cinematic, so we've got things like state-of-the-art performance capture with scanned-in character models, large-scale destruction with real-time rewind, ray tracing because, well, this is a video game in 2019, and loads of lovely particle effects. Particles are something you see a whole lot of in Control's paranormal world, as you dart about flinging hunks of concrete like confetti. The spectacular effects just look even better when you put them next to all that mundane office stuff. Like, who hasn't wanted to knock a load of boring books off a shelf? And that's why I'm not allowed in libraries. We're on to number 8 on the list, that is in no particular order, and where numbers have lost all meaning, and it is none other than Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's the game that has everything: hugging, booting, and ramming. Those are my big 3 things that I think every game needs to have, which is why it's even more impressive that Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks this good on top of all that. Especially since the world is so massive and so diverse. We've got tranquil coastlines, jaw-dropping cliff-top views, and those ancient Greek mainstays, the flaming bone horses. Either Ubisoft have a million people working for them, or just like one giant one. 9th on the list is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, another game to show off the amazing qualities of ray tracing. Here it ramps up the look of shadows. You could really tell developer Eidos Montreal built levels with ray tracing in mind. Why else would you put so many candles everywhere? And check out the kids with sparklers. Dangerous in real life, but very impressive in a video game context. Ray tracing also helps to bring out the depth in ancient ruins and crumbling brickwork, which you're gonna see a whole lot of in Shadow of the Tomb Raider's South American setting. Stress effects here was the big thing when Tomb Raider's 2013 reboot came out. Now it's ray tracing. I wonder what's gonna be next. I'm gonna say ear physics. Ear physics. For the final entry, it's none other than Minecraft, a game that's gone from one of the worst looking games you could possibly lay your eyes on to one of the best. That kind of incredible transformation is rarely seen outside of Stars in Their Eyes. In Stars in Their Eyes terms, Minecraft is the postman from Horsham who turns into Bjork. But enough about Stars in Their Eyes. The reason Minecraft looks so good now is because of a recent update bringing ray tracing to the game. And I promise you that's the last time I'm going to bring up ray tracing. Anyway, ray tracing, I lied, makes each block cast its own shadow, turns previously dull blocks shiny, and even gives mobs reflections, so wolves can finally do their makeup. You're about to see some very contoured wolves in Minecraft. Dungeons are way more atmospheric, with fully modeled light rays, and ice that looks good enough to rub in your forehead after walking into a door. And water actually looks like water, which, you know, is exactly what you want from water. Just make sure that intense lava glow is coming from the game and it's not your PC on fire. You know what? It almost makes you wish real life had ray tracing. Oh wait, it does! So those were and are the 10 best looking games you can possibly play right now. And if you can't play them because your computer lacks the power of 1,000 suns, I hope you enjoyed watching them. Thank you so much for your support. I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, click subscribe so you don't miss any videos from us here at PCGamesN.